Hi there, I'm Ina, Speak Simply Malekish, and this is my channel. And I enjoy sharing about sex, relationship, intimacy, and spirituality one bite at a time. My service to you thrives on your participation, your liking, sharing, submitting, leaving comments, so please do so. And I am available for in-office as well as remote sessions, and you can contact me right here on this page. Today's topic is when you cannot fix it. And I'm speaking to both men and women. In our culture in the United States, probably around the world, resolving the issues, resolving the problems, fixing whatever is wrong is very high priority. It probably even goes above having a spiritual relationship with a power greater than ourselves, by whatever name you may want to call that. The ability to use our own brain to figure something out, which is very important. I just want to share with you that your brain is a great muscle, no different than a computer. So there's some things that a computer can help you with. You can look data up, but somebody put the data in. So the brain is not really what we want to use to fix things. Now, if you're a mechanic, if you are a builder, if you work for a large corporation, you are using your brain all the time to look at all the possibilities, figure things out. If you're in construction, if it's not plumb, if it's 4 inches off at the bottom, it's going to be off. Ladies, if the recipe isn't good, if you're one thing off, if you put them in, it's chemistry. Cooking is chemistry. So when you can't fix it, I have thrown away pumpkin pies because I put in way too much stevia and it tasted horrible. When you just can't fix it. If it's a pie, if it's a construction, frustrating. When it's a relationship, this feels life-threatening because you have dedicated time and energy. I don't care if you're boyfriend and girlfriend. If you've spent 2 months together, that's 2 months of your life that you have spent thinking maybe this person is the one. And then you start discovering, some of their real values. You realize there's too many differences between you. So when you can't fix it, we will spend months and months, maybe years and years in a relationship before we will admit failure. I don't know about you. I don't like admitting failure. I had that experience over this last year. I am a marriage counselor. For a marriage counselor to admit failure in her own marriage, I thought was going to be devastating. It was the best thing I could have done. I wish I had done it years ago. Admitting failure simply means, if you look it up, or surrender. Let's use the word surrender, because I know you men really don't like surrender. Of course, some women don't like it either. Surrender means you're joining the side that's winning. Surrender, it means you're joining the side that is winning. Failure, how many times creating electricity, thousands of times was their failure not making the electric bulb. So these terms have a very negative connotation, and I invite you to let that go. Because when I admitted failure, I felt so free. I realized not my work, not my responsibility. The other thing is, if you want to offer help to somebody, you think you have a solution for them, always ask permission first. Always say, are you in an open space for me to share some ideas with you? I woke up, I had an idea, I'd like to share it with you. Has nothing to do with me, my life, but you shared some things with me and this came. Are you open? Well, a lot of times we will be. And we'll go, yeah, I'm in a good space. I'd love to hear your idea, your suggestions. I have been times when I have recognized I'm not in a good space. I don't care who it is sharing with me. I'm not going to hear it. So I'll be honest. I'll be transparent. I'll say, I'm not in a good space. I appreciate you asking me. And I will let you know later today or tomorrow when I actually can hear what you are offering me. Because I don't want to waste your time and your energy, especially if you're a friend, if you're a parent, even a child. My son came up with some really good observations when he was just a little tyke. He's now a 47-year-old man with his own kids. The idea here is when you cannot fix it, it drives you nuts. Helping my clients realize perhaps it's not their work to do. Their work to do needs to take them in a different route. It is their partner's work to do. That you cannot fix somebody else. You may be hurting for them. You may be sad that they're going through such grief or such unhappiness. If they would only listen to you, if they would only take your advice, you love them. You're not going to give them bad advice, and yet it doesn't work. So that is kind of a wake-up call to say, stay on your own side of the street. Do your own work. Focus on you growing, because if one of you is growing, like I said, if it's a 2-month relationship, if you're just dating, you are discovering how compatible you are with this other person. If you're in a long-term relationship, you might be discovering you've grown apart so much that you find you're not compatible about very many things anymore. That can change as long as you stop trying to fix the other person or convincing yourself you're right and they're wrong. When you do your own work and you can admit failure, you can't fix it. There is a reprieve in that. There's a freedom in that. Also, there could be a lesson. You may have many talents, skills, and abilities, and you are very capable and very successful, except in this one arena. Now, you have a choice. You can take an online class. You can buy some books and read if you like to be self-taught. You can go do a yoga class. You can do meditation. You can do things to increase your skill level in that particular arena if you choose. You may choose not to. You don't want to be a jack of all trades. You have your skill set. So if this one area you're not skilled in, stop trying to convince everyone or your significant other that you know more than they do. Especially if they've just read a book or an article or a documentary and what you're saying is totally different than the documentary. Well, that could be very frustrating between two people. And the person who read the documentary can say, I appreciate your opinion, and until you read this documentary, I'd rather not discuss it. And you don't have to be angry. You don't have to make the other person wrong. You know that they have a different opinion, a different take on whatever it is, and you just read this documentary. So the idea is you want to educate yourself. You want to continue evolving and growing. I would say the biggest challenge that most people have is that they keep thinking that Great Spirit, Yahweh, Buddha, Jesus, God, by whatever name you want to call that higher power, yes, we have free will. And in that free will, to align it with something that is so much greater that we can't even imagine it. And if I can align my free will with Great Spirit's free will, and I can open up my ego and actually let myself learn, I might discover so much of what I thought was truth and was factual. I discovered it was just my ego not willing to let anyone else be right, and I had to hold the reins. So if this is touching base in any way whatsoever, I invite you, if you don't do anything else, even if you don't believe there is anything greater than, you can do an experiment. The experiment is to actually start talking to something greater than yourself to help you in the areas where you don't have a clue. You have done your best. You have tried your best to resolve this, to heal this, to let this go. And you haven't been able to do it. I invite you to experience and to explore. And when you're at your wit's end, you know, sometimes when we're at our wit's end, we say, okay, God, I can't do this by myself. Help. Or Great Spirit, or Buddha. I invite you not to wait till you're that far, till your knees have been cut out from under you, and maybe you need to be on your knees. But I know that I can go outside in my backyard to a tree, put my arms around a tree, and I could say, Mother, Father, Nature, Wakantanka, Great Spirit, I need your help. If you haven't asked for help from a power greater than yourself lately, and you keep trying to fix your own problems, by all means, try. You may have the talent, skills, and ability to do it. Great. But if you don't, I invite you to go outside yourself to something spiritual, if you understand it or not, if you believe it or not, and just experiment and ask for help. And don't tell them how you want it, what it's supposed to look like. Because if you couldn't fix it, you have no business telling a higher source what it should look like and what you want. You just need to say, help me, and then be open to hearing the solutions. If you would like to work with a counselor who is very spiritual, very supportive, and I speak the unspeakable, and you can trust that I'm not going to, blow smoke. You know what I mean. I don't have to say the rest of that. Please contact me. And you can go on my bio and you can see the other platforms that I'm on. And my websites, I have quite a few videos so you can see who I am. And you can decide for yourself, am I the right therapist for you? Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Blessings.